Hey guys, welcome to TSM is their own fan fiction where we read stories that the fans have written about us. They're probably gonna be pretty crazy. So I'm here today with Bjergsen and Biofrost. I'm Doublelift. Just to remind you guys, the stories have been edited for content and time. So you guys ready? 2 notes on this story. It takes place in 2017 and the entire story is told from Bjergsen's POV, but we'll all be taking turns reading sections. So remember, this is Bjerg talking. LCS kicks off with plenty of new teams this year. Right now, Cloud9 are going to play against a new team called Immortals. I know Turtle's on the team, that's why I'm here at the arena to watch and support his debut. But notice they haven't announced the other players. Now I know why. As the pick and ban phase starts, I see Huni in top, Rainover in jungle, Wild Turtle as AD carry, and Adrian as support, and at mid, Bloodveil, a girl. I watched Bloodveil very carefully the entire game. Immortals crush Cloud9. I must say she's a pretty good mid laner. She solo killed Jensen like 3 or 4 times in a row. After they finished the game, I went into their room to greet them.
Yes. How should I get the juicy part here? Hey, you guys had a great game. My eyes immediately connected with hers of Bloodveil's. I wasn't able to see her very well before, but now, wow. She had dark, messy hair covering her shoulders, and when she said thank you and smiled, my heart melted. She didn't have the perfect smile, but damn, it was so beautiful to me. She bit her lip and turned around so I could no longer see her face. I kept staring when suddenly Turtle pat my shoulder from the back with a welcoming smile.
Yo dude, we're having a party to celebrate. Come with your team tonight at 7 p.m? Okay, see you there. We all arrived at the Immortals' house. I saw the team with a lot of sexy people around them.
What? This is something I would say?
They were dancing, drinking, having fun.
Yep, that's you, dude.
For some reason, Turtle was on the floor b-boying, right next to the table. When I walked in, he smiled and said, "Dude, I'm so wasted."
I laughed and helped him up. Don't tell me you mixed everything again. 2 hours later, I started feeling a bit tipsy. I still hadn't talked to Bloodveil, and that made me kind of sad. I put some vodka in my whiskey just to stop thinking about her. Yeah, very realistic. Until everything felt liquid, so I started dancing, doing the robot, then twerking. I didn't care that much, and the song was really good. It was Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Someone changed the song to Gimme More by Britney, my other favorite song. Yes, this is very true.
Facts.
I saw Bloodveil heading my direction without a word. She wrapped her arms around my neck. Oh man. And we both started swaying and dancing dirty. Her face was so close I could feel her hot breath. Oh man. I really have to read this, huh? Damn, I wanted to kiss her so badly, but I wanted to be a gentleman until our eyes met. Why can't Peter read this instead? Those eyes that whispered to me, "Do it, kiss me, king." So I accidentally, well, kind of on purpose, pulled her closer to me, and the next thing that happened shocked me. She leaned forward and started biting my neck. I immediately clutched my fingers into her back, which caused her to gasp. She pulled away, never breaking eye contact. I couldn't resist anymore and kissed her with so much passion. It felt like our souls were exploding. Like we both waited for this moment for ages. Eventually we stopped to take a breath, and of course we couldn't go any further because we just met and we were drunk. For the rest of the night we shared small kisses and held hands, hoping the night would never end, and this moment we would never forget. Alright guys, here's story number 2 titled Wintertime Cuddling by koitheweeb.
Peter's arms are strong.
Oh, I like this one already.
His body heat feels nice. Those are 2 of the observations Vincent made about cuddling with Peter. While his usual days were filled with stress, tournaments, travel, and practice, falling asleep in Peter's arms at the end of the day felt like heaven, almost. Peter was a really good cuddler.
True.
Was very good at keeping him warm despite the cold winter weather. Vincent shifted closer into Peter's embrace, letting out a content sigh. In return, he pulled Vincent closer. The air was filled with silence, but it still felt like a conversation. Words of affection that weren't directly present even though it felt like it. Vincent's eyelids became heavy and his thoughts swirled into nonsense. He didn't even feel the energy to yawn. In that moment, he was exhausted and drowsy but mostly grateful for the opportunity to have met Peter, who he used to know as Doublelift. Grateful that he threw away his dignity to take a risk and try out for TSM. Grateful to have gotten to where he is now. What am I talking about? He thought to himself. You're thinking too much. Just enjoy the moment. Those were his last thoughts before his drowsiness overcame him like a swirling void of unconsciousness. Underneath the covers next to his teammate, he dreamt of good things.
Just embrace that warm embrace from Peter.
God, he's so cute. All Peter wanted to do was kiss him until he couldn't breathe, but he knew he couldn't, and it pained him. It was so hard to hold back his affection for his bio daddy sometimes. But he knew it was for the best, and while he couldn't kiss him, at least he could hold him. At least for now, when the air was silent and cold and the covers were warm, and the feeling of being next to Vincent gave him butterflies. Peter snickered to himself. They were supposed to sleep in their own beds, but I guess there was nothing he could do about it now. A few minutes later, when he was sure Vincent was asleep, Peter started running his fingers through Vincent's hair. He would occasionally plant tender kisses onto Vincent's forehead.
Oh, this part is real.
He would squeeze Vincent's soft hands. If only he could do this when Vincent was awake, he thought to himself. If only he could.
Peter wasn't sure what woke him. Maybe it was the golden morning sun drifting in through the windows, or the friendly chatter of Bjerg, Bibi, and Ming out in the hall. It didn't matter because he was awake now. Vincent, on the other hand, was not. Vincent had one arm resting on Peter's chest, fingers loosely gripping onto his shoulder. The other arm lay stretched out underneath the pillow. Much like last night, Peter was stuck with his sleepy support clinging onto him.
Vincent, Peter said, yawning. Come on, let's get up. Vincent didn't respond. Unsure of what to do, Peter forced himself to sit up, brushing off Vincent's hand which loosely clung to Peter's shirt. Vincent furrowed his brow from the loss of contact. Peter paid no attention, though he felt guilty for leaving him alone, and started stripping out of his shirt, revealing his chiseled body and washboard abs.
Oh my.
Those exist. Those definitely exist.
Peter! Vincent whined. Come back! Vincent stretched out his arms, coaxing him. Is that how you say it? Coaxing him to continue cuddling.
Dude, come on, we have to get some breakfast, Peter replied. As much as he wanted to climb back into bed, getting practice was much more important. Vincent rubbed his eyes with the knuckle of his index finger, a pout still present on his lips. Fine, he said.
Peter sighed and walked over to the edge of the bed, grabbing Vincent by the wrist and pulling him up. Hurry up, sleepy, he said. Vincent, shocked by the sudden force pulling him forward, let himself fall into a hug. Their noses were almost touching. They could feel each other's moist breaths against their skin. Vincent was staring at his eyes. Heart was telling him to go for it, to kiss him right on the lips, and that's what he wanted to do. But he couldn't, because he knew they both knew what would happen if they did. Dun dun dun. Now kiss.
Wow.
Oh, it's so painful to read. The story is called A God Among Nobles by jbbarnes. Here's the setup. The 80 carry Queen of Solo Queue finally gets picked up by a pro team. This was streamer Adeline's big break, and she wasn't going to waste it. She had proved herself on stream and outside of stream, managing to be ranked top 5, constantly competing with Doublelift for his title, as the two developed a very public feud.
Beer pong, Golden Glue suggested. They were both looking to have fun, and fun found them at the party. The two set up the beer pong table, a crowd beginning to surround them. At the back of the crowd was a certain someone, Mr. Pang, aka Doublelift. TSM had been invited to the party along all the other teams. Adeline wasn't aware of that, but she was too focused to notice anyways. Sure, Doublelift had continually had their spats on Discord, but right now she could care less. Drinks? Golden Glue suggested after a triumphant game. With a nod, they passed through the living room when Peter decided to make his move. He was absolutely sick of seeing the two together, smiling and laughing. He stepped in before her to cut her off, and before she could react.
Oh, I can tell this is gonna be a cringe one.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Can we talk? He asked her gritted teeth. Adeline finally reacted, looking up. She pulled herself away from him, her glare hardening. What do you want? Who the invited you? She spat, crossing her arms. Her glare could cut through glass. Peter sighed, not exactly sure why he stopped her. Just shut up, will you? He commanded, trying to get his own thoughts together. Adeline almost screeched. She was furious. Who the was he to come to her party and tell her what to do?
You seem pretty nervous around girls, Peter. Because then Peter says, I don't know who the you are, Peter. Oh wait, that's what she said. She started jabbing him in his muscular chest. Oh, another muscular chest. I don't know how the you think you can just come in here and be buddy-buddy after bashing me all over social media? I don't get it. I really don't. She seethed, her eyes narrowed. Peter would be lying if he said she wasn't cute right now. He would also be lying if he said he wasn't drunk with jealousy. He left almost speechless, but he still tried to say something.
Listen, okay, just hear me out. He tried to reason to the defensive girl. She was having absolutely none of it.
No.
I like your no, Vincent. No!
I'm not gonna listen. You feel so damn entitled and so threatened that a girl has stepped into your scene and can do it better than you? Isn't that it?
True.
She asked with a snide smile and a tilt of the head. She sauntered around him, her gaze still remaining on him as she did. You hate me, because I do what you do better, and that scares you. You think I can take your place on TSM, she countered, her steely gaze breaking into his soul. Peter growled. Now he was angry himself. How dare she threaten him?
Threatened. As if I'd be threatened by you, Adeline. Their gazes challenged the other to move, to blink, and to think. Adeline let out a low, sardonic laugh.
What is it? She asked, raising an eyebrow. Peter let out a low grumble.
I hate you, he finalized. His glare reaching the back of Adeline's skull. That was the least of her drunken worries. She actually found the guy cute. She wished she didn't. Hate is a strong word, she told him. Holy shit, just shut the fuck up, he told her. Unconsciously edging closer, her head snapped to him, her eyes saucers. They were not about to go through this again. He opened his mouth to speak, only to be cut off by a mouth on top of his. They made a grunting noise, before slowly relaxing into the kiss.
Oh my god. The grunting noise.
Peter pulled the girl closer to him, wrapping an arm around her waist. Adeline's hands found their way around his neck as the kiss deepened. This is so cringe. Peter pulled away, looking at the girl in front of him. She pushed off.
What the f was that? She yelled, prodding him in his chest. Peter laughed as he shook his head. Just shut up, she commanded, attacking him in a frenzy. Peter reacted quicker than Adeline did when he kissed her. He quickly pulled in closer. A hand tangled in her curly blonde hair. One of her hands was on his chest. Muscular chest, by the way. And the other was snaked around his neck.
He bit her lip, trying to get her to open her mouth. She smirked into the kiss, muttering nice try, so Peter only tried again, kissing her deeply.
Ugh!
She let out a small gasp. He shoved her into the wall lightly, their tongues dancing together to the best of their own song. He pulled away, tugging her hand and leading her up to the stairs. Which one is yours? He asked quietly, pointing to the various doors. She grabbed his hand with a giggle, leading him to the third room on the left. Neither of the two would remember this in the morning, and that definitely didn't stop the pair from doing what they were about to do.
Oh my god!
I'm a bad boy, guys. It's called Imagine Biofrost, and the author is the esteemed FreezerLolipop. Imagine Vince being super awkward and a total nerd around you because he doesn't know how to react to you being his girlfriend, because of how amazing you are to him and feels as if he doesn't deserve you at all, but you tell him otherwise and says he's cute, which makes him speechless, and a blushing mess on stream, making you let out a small giggle at your boyfriend. Biofrost is one of my cinnamon roll, and I will protect him.
All I know is that Biofrost is one of my cinnamon roll, and I will protect him.
Biofrost is one of my cinnamon roll, and I will protect him.
I will
tweet.
to protect him, actually.
That might be a new tweet for me.
Alright, thanks guys for joining us on TSM Reads Their Own Fanfiction. Hope it was just as crazy and fun for you guys as it was for us. What stories do you want us to read next? Tell us in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest TSM content. Bye!